Hey, it's Joseph, and if you're a sentient human, you've probably had the thought, I'll just get rich and women will love me. But men who buy Lamborghinis tend to be compensating for a lack of self-worth and an inability to talk to women, and it only leads to gold diggers who take advantage of them. What actually sets you apart and makes you magnetic is becoming a human Lamborghini. It changed my dating life, and every guy I know who's dating what you would consider a high quality woman understands this. Today I'm going to show you the two pillars of the human Lamborghini and how this will allow you to attract better women than any of your friends. The first pillar is hard to get. What makes a Lamborghini so much more valuable than a Prius? Although it does essentially the same thing, it gets you from point A to point B. What makes a diamond so much more valuable than a lab-grown diamond? Although the lab-grown diamond's actually more flawless. Well, it's because a Lamborghini and the real diamond are more difficult to get. That's pretty much it. And it works the same way on the dating market. What makes an attractive woman so valuable? Well, she is harder to get than your average woman. And what makes a human Lamborghini so valuable? He's harder to get than your average guy, who's very easy to get. Many guys are making the huge mistake of being too easy, and it lowers their value, but not exactly in the same way that a woman might be considered easy. Guys are too easy in the sense that they're too easily giving up emotional commitment for nothing. They instantly let the woman win them over within minutes of knowing her, within seconds really, before she's displayed anything unique about herself beyond just being an attractive woman, and before she's even shown a slight inclination to fall into his frame, such as going along with what he's saying, asking questions about him, or wanting to impress him. And guys have an attitude of seeking approval and rapport with a girl, which they mistakenly think is an effective strategy of being a very nice guy. And so this manifests in seeking rapport tonality, being overly agreeable and complimentary, and acting like they're really interested in something that they're not at all. And so what happens when a guy does this when talking to women? Well, the girl feels like he's low value because he was so eager to emotionally invest and let her in. The girl doesn't feel special, and he deprives the girl of the thrill of being able to win him over. And Joseph, are you insinuating that I should consciously be strategic about dating? My grandma told me I just need to be a nice guy and then hold the door for women, and one day I'll find true love. And if you want the most success, yes, that is what I'm telling you. Perception is important, okay? Because a guy might be high value, but if he frames himself as easy to get, he's gonna be perceived as such, and he's only gonna be able to date women who are either gold diggers or highly attracted to him and what you would call sexually free, all right? Men who walk around with Cheeto stains on their shirt and they think that they can just be nice to women are in for a rude awakening, because that's not how the real world works, all right? All right, so why do women wear makeup? Why do men wear business suits and get their hair cut? It's because they want to be perceived a certain way that benefits them, okay? And I'm not suggesting to lie to people, to deceive women, but you have to understand that throughout evolutionary history, men and women have both put themselves in the best possible light to attract mates. Now, the guy who's patient and doesn't let the girl win him over quickly, he's gonna be the one that she thinks about when she's at work, wondering if she can attain him and win him over, wondering what his feelings are for her. He's gonna be the one that she brags about to friends when she gets his attention. And he's gonna be the one that she feels is unique from the other guys who all instantly let her win. And the second pillar is emotional thrill. People don't buy Lamborghinis for the plastic, the glass, the aluminum, and the steel that they're constructed from. They like it for its emotional thrill, rapid acceleration, fast turning, high performance braking, loud noises even. In the same way, men who've secured a high quality partner didn't do so because the girl logically calculated her decision to sleep with him based off of a pros and cons analysis. The girl felt attracted, excited, free, and youthful around him. And then possibly she justified it with logic. In many cases, not even. She doesn't even need to, because there are men who are objectively losers. Like, they don't have a lot really going for them. They might be alcoholics even, and they do much better than the men who, quote unquote, have it all on paper, because they understand what I'm about to reveal. Okay, something that you have to understand is that most men have an incomplete mental map of how to communicate with women in a way that creates desire. Okay, so this is most guys' conception. Number one, go up to the girl and make small talk. Talk about current events and be nice. Step two, I tell her what I do for work and what I do on the weekends. Step three, I ask her questions about her life and she opens up to me. And step four, sex. Or at least that's the plan. It usually doesn't really work out that way. Now, notice how all of these things are logical. I tell her this about myself. I talk about this material thing, this current event. I learn this factual thing about her. And the thing is, these things are a part of courtship, learning about the girl and telling her about yourself. But the logical facts only really matter if she's attracted to you. Otherwise, why would she care? Okay? And she can only be attracted to you if she experiences you, like the real you, not the you that's on paper, but who you actually are. I've worked with many illogical men, let me tell you, software engineers, cybersecurity guys, and within every guy, I find that there's a side that's really good at connecting with women on an emotional level, that's fun and uninhibited, that isn't ashamed of flirting with women, who's like charismatic at telling stories, all right? Most guys just need a bit of help pulling that out of themselves and a bit of practice, but you know, on this video, I can give you some tips on doing this. And number one is self-amusing. And when I tell somebody to self-amuse, this isn't about acting in a cookie cutter way that I prescribe to you. This is about being free of restrictions from corporate communication, from prideful seriousness, and letting out the fun that you probably deep down want to be having in your interactions with women. So the question is, what do you find fun? Because it's not exactly the same for everyone. Is it idiotic puns, being challenging to the girl, teasing her, hypothetical situations where you encounter Bigfoot? For example, I have an inside joke with myself where whenever a girl asks me what I'm doing on a specific day, I'll tell her that I'm hanging out with Bartholomew. Now, this is a made up fictional person, but I just find it funny with myself. And women sense that you're a guy who's having fun in the moment, and it takes away from seeming like you have an agenda. Now, women also just like to be around people who are fun, and doesn't everybody? Now, number two is to be unpredictable. Don't be so quick to tell a girl everything about yourself. Allow her to figure it out over time so that she can wonder about you. Okay, there's been many times where I've talked to a girl for 30 minutes to an hour, and there was a ton of sexual tension between us, and the girl didn't even know my name. She didn't know what I did for work. She didn't know where I lived. But the thing is, it didn't matter because she actually experienced who I was and not the logical facts of my life. And another example is when I date a girl, I don't tell her my life story immediately, like many guys make the mistake of doing, and I have also in the past. And over time, you know, she'll get a tidbit about this crazy thing or that story here and there. And when you release it slowly like that, it's almost like it's a Netflix show. She just keeps wanting to see the next episode and uncover more. Okay, why is there that movie line, I've got you all figured out, that women say? It's because that's what women are trying to do. They're trying to pin you down and figure you out. And when you lay it all out immediately, there's no chase, there's no mystery or thrill for the girl. And number three is being willing to flirt and challenge the girl. The guy who isn't comfortable with sex has the least sex. And the guy who isn't comfortable with flirting isn't able to create sexual tension. Okay, women like to be teased and flirted with. I had this misconception in the past that women were delicate creatures and I shouldn't challenge them or tease them in any way. Funny enough, this was really just a projection of my own low self-esteem. And women really do like to be teased and flirted with. When you're flirting with a girl, it's like you're going outside of the social box a little and you're being a bit bold, which number one, it shows value in itself. And number two, you're subtly forming ideas in the girl's head about a relationship or sex with you. And I just don't think you're one of the guys that's gonna accept the fate of being the boring, friendly guy, all right? Okay, here's an example from yesterday. So I'm talking to a girl, and she tells me she's about to watch a show called Love Island. Now, I don't know what that is, so I ask her, and she tells me it's some sort of reality romance show. So I'm like, you know what? We could be contestants on that show as long as you're not drama. So here, I'm flirting with the idea of me and the girl together romantically in a hypothetical situation. And I also made it a push pull, by the way, if you know what that is, by adding, if you promise, you're not going to be drama. So there I'm retaining my power and not seeming needy, like if I was just like, we could be on that show together. All right, so this is just a great like textbook example of flirting in a hypothetical situation that's going to create emotions with the girl you're talking to. Now, if you're a guy that wants to really talk to women confidently, or you want to start going on more dates consistently with higher quality women, and you potentially want to work with me so that I can personally help you get there fast, you can click the link below this video, and then you can schedule a free strategy call with me. On this call, we're going to figure out where you're at, if my mentorship's a good fit, because it's not for everybody. If not, then no hard feelings. This is still going to be the most valuable 30 minutes that you invest in yourself probably this year, because I'm going to help you create a map, a specific action plan to get to a place where you're consistently going on dates with women. So if you are interested in making this change, you can go ahead and click the link below. That's all I have for today, guys, and I'll see y'all soon.